The machines beeped softly in the white room. Dr. Kung Daeho watched the numbers on the screen. His daughter Sojin lay sleeping in the hospital bed. Her breathing was shallow and quick. The crimson fever was winning. Papa, Sojin whispered. Her eyes opened slowly. They were bright with fever. I'm here, little star, Daeho said. He held her small hand. It felt too hot and too fragile. Will you tell me about the dragons again? Daeho smiled even though his heart was breaking. Which story do you want to hear? The one about the dragon who protected the children? He began the old Korean tale. Sojin closed her eyes and listened. Her fever made her dreams strange and colorful. In her dreams, she could fly with the dragons above the clouds. Dr. Park Min-ho entered the room quietly. He was Daeho's closest friend and research partner. Min-ho looked at the medical charts and shook his head. The medicine isn't working, Min-ho said softly. I know, Daeho replied. He didn't look away from his daughter. Might be another way. What do you mean, the dig site? They found something new yesterday. Daeho finally looked up. What kind of something? Come see for yourself. The underground research facility was deep beneath New Seoul Colony. Daeho and Min-ho took the elevator down past 20 levels. The walls were carved from solid rock. Emergency lights cast strange shadows. The coalition inspectors left yesterday. Min-ho said, They think we're just studying old rocks, aren't we? Not anymore. They walked through long corridors. Scientists in white coats moved between laboratories. Most of them looked tired. The war with the coalition had been hard on everyone. Humans were losing on every front. Why do they hate us so much? Daeho asked. 'Cause we feel things, Min-ho said. They think emotions make us weak. Maybe they're right. If they were right, you wouldn't be here trying to save your daughter. They reached a massive door marked with warning signs. Min-ho pressed his hand to the scanner. The door opened with a heavy sound. The chamber beyond was huge, stretched up into darkness. In the center lay something that made Daeho's breath catch. It was a dragon, not the small flying creatures from Earth's old stories. This was something else entirely. The creature was as long as a city block and as tall as a building. Its body was covered in scales that looked like metal and flesh mixed together. Cables and wires ran along its sides like veins. Its eyes were closed. How long has it been here? Daeho asked. We think about 50,000 years, Min-ho said. The civilization that built this place is long gone. But their guardian is still here. Guardian is what we think it was. Look at this. Min-ho led him to a control station. Screens showed brain scans and neural patterns. The lines moved in complex waves. It's still alive? Daeho asked.
More
Then alive. It's dreaming. What does it dream about? I don't know. But its brain patterns are unlike anything we've seen. It processes emotions and memories at levels we can't measure. Daeho stared at the sleeping giant. Why are you showing me this? Because you're the best consciousness engineer in the colonies? And because your daughter's dying? Min-ho, what are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that maybe we can learn something from this creature. Something that could help us understand consciousness itself. Daeho walked closer to the dragon. Up close. He could see that its scales rose and fell slightly. It was breathing. After 50,000 years, it was still breathing. The coalition would never approve this research, Daeho said. The coalition doesn't care if human children die, Min-ho replied. They've made that clear. This is dangerous. So is doing nothing. Daeho thought about Sojin lying in her hospital bed. He thought about all the other children dying from crimson fever. The coalition had medicines that could help, but they refused to share them. They said humans needed to learn to solve their own problems. What would you need from me? Daeho asked. Help me understand how its mind works. Help me map its consciousness, and then maybe we can find a way to communicate with it. Maybe we can learn what it knows about life and death. Daeho placed his hand on the dragon's scale. It felt warm, almost like skin. Somewhere deep. Inside the creature, he sensed vast intelligence waiting. I need to check on Sojin first, he said. Of course. They returned to the surface. The hospital was quiet in the late evening. Sojin was awake, looking out the window at the stars. I had a dream about a big dragon, she said. It was sleeping under the ground. Daeho felt a chill. What did it dream about? Lonely things. It missed its family. Did it have a family a long time ago? But they went away. Sojin turned to look at him. Papa, why do people have to die? Daeho sat on the edge of her bed. I don't know, little star. But I'm going to try to make sure you don't have to find out for a very long time. Promise. I promise. That night, Daeho couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the dragon in Sojin's dream. How could she have known about the creature? Fever sometimes made children see strange things. But this felt different. He went to his computer and began studying the neural scans Minho had shown him. The patterns were incredible. The dragon's mind worked in ways that human science barely understood. It processed information through quantum pathways that shouldn't exist in biological systems. But there they were. As the night wore on, Daeho began to see possibilities. Dangerous possibilities. The dragon's consciousness was vast enough to hold entire universes of thought and memory. If someone could find a way to interface with it, to share information with it, what might be possible? He thought about Sojin's fever dreams. He thought about her laughing voice and her brave heart. He thought about losing her forever. By morning, Daeho had made his decision. He would help Minho study the dragon. He would unlock its secrets. And somehow, he would find a way to save his daughter. Even if it meant breaking every rule the coalition had made. Even if it meant waking something that had slept for 50,000 years. Even if it meant changing the fate of humanity itself. The dragon slept on, dreaming its ancient dreams, unaware that everything was about to change. 3 weeks passed. Sojin grew weaker each day. Her fever climbed higher. The medicines stopped working completely. Dr. Kong Daeho spent every moment he could with her, but he also worked on the Dragon Project. The research team had made amazing discoveries. The dragon's brain was not just biological. It was part machine, part living tissue, part something else entirely. The neural pathways could store memories like a computer, but they also felt emotions like a human mind. Look at this, Minho said. He showed Daeho a brain scan. When we played music near the dragon, its mind reacted. It remembered music from thousands of years ago. It has memories from that long ago. Yes, and not just its own memories. It has the memories of the people it protected. Daeho studied the patterns. How is that possible? We think it could connect with other minds. When someone died, it saved their thoughts and feelings. It's like a backup. More than that, like keeping their soul alive. Daeho felt his heart race. Could it do that with a human? Theoretically, yes. But we would need to create a perfect neural map first. How long would that take? Months, maybe years. Daeho looked at the dragon sleeping in its chamber. Sojin didn't have months. That night, Sojin was very sick. Her temperature was too high. The nurses looked worried. Daeho held her hand and tried not to cry. Papa, she whispered. I dreamed about the dragon again. What did it dream about? This time, it was sad. It lost all its children a long time ago. Children, the people it protected. It loved them like they were its own babies. Sojin closed her eyes. I told it that you love me like that too. You talked to it? Dream it has a nice voice. Very deep and warm. Daeho kissed her forehead. Sleep now, little star. Papa, if I can't stay with you, will you remember me? Forever and always. Promise. I promise. The next morning, the doctors gave Daeho terrible news. Sojin had maybe 2 days left. The fever was destroying her brain. Soon she would fall asleep and never wake up. Daeho ran to the research facility. He found Minho in the dragon chamber. I need to try something, Daeho said. What? I need to map Sojin's consciousness. Now, today. Daeho, that's impossible. We don't have the equipment. Ready. Then we make it ready. Minho saw the desperation in his friend's eyes. Even if we could map her mind, we have no way to store it. The dragon systems are too complex. What if we don't store it in a computer? What if we store it in the dragon itself? That's insane. You said the dragon saved the memories of people it protected. What if it could save Sojin? The risks are enormous. It could kill her instantly. She's dying anyway. Minho was quiet for a long moment. It would take all day to set up, and we would only get one chance. Then let's get started. They worked through the day and into the night. Other scientists helped without asking questions. Everyone knew about Daeho's daughter. Everyone understood. They built a neural interface using parts from 10 different machines. It looked like a crown made of wires and lights. The cables ran from the interface to the dragon's head. This is the most dangerous thing we've ever tried, Minho said. I know. If this goes wrong, we could damage the dragon's mind too. I know. And even if it works, Sojin won't be human anymore. She'll be something else. Daeho looked at the sleeping dragon. Will she still be my daughter? I don't know. We'll find out together. They brought Sojin to the chamber on a medical bed. She was unconscious now. Her breathing was very slow. The machines showed her brain shutting down. We have maybe an hour, the doctor said. Daeho placed the neural interface on Sojin's head. The wires glowed softly. On the screens, they could see her brain patterns. She's dreaming, Minho said. What about flying? She's dreaming about flying. Daeho connected the interface to the dragon's neural system. Immediately, the dragon's brain patterns changed. Its eyes moved under closed lids. Knows she's here, Minho said. Begin the transfer, Daeho said. The process was slow. On the screens, they watched Sojin's memories flow into the dragon's mind. Her first steps, her first words, birthday parties, bedtime stories. The day she learned to ride a bicycle. The dragon is accepting the data, Minho said. It's not rejecting her memories. What does that mean? It means the dragon wants to save her.
Hours passed.
Dutch! Sojin's body grew weaker, but her mind grew stronger inside the dragon. Her memories spread through the ancient neural networks. Her personality merged with the dragon's vast consciousness. Her body is failing, the doctor said. But her mind is safe, Minho said. Look at the dragon's patterns. It's changing. It's learning from her. On the screens, they could see the dragon's dreams becoming brighter, more colorful, more human. The transfer is complete, Minho said. Sojin's body took its last breath. But inside the dragon, something new was born. Not just Sojin's memories, but her spirit, her love, her hope. The dragon's eyes opened. They were still the same ancient eyes, but now they held something different. Something warm and familiar, Papa. The voice came from speakers connected to the dragon's vocal systems. It was Sojin's voice, but deeper, more powerful. Sojin, is that really you? Yes, Papa. But I'm different now. Bigger. I can see so much more. The dragon's massive head turned toward Daeho. I'm not afraid anymore. The dragon showed me that love doesn't die, just changes form. Daeho reached out and touched the dragon's scale. It felt warm under his hand. Are you in pain? He asked. Papa, I'm free. I can feel everything the dragon feels. It's all its memories, all its love for the people it protected long ago. Do you remember being human? Yes, but I also remember being something more. Papa, the dragon was so lonely. It missed its family. But now it has me, and I have it. The dragon's voice became Sogin's voice again. And I still have you, Papa. I'll always have you. Minho stared at the readings. This is impossible. She's not just stored in the dragon's memory. She's become part of its consciousness. What does that mean? Daeho asked. It means she's teaching it to be human, and it's teaching her to be something greater. The dragon spoke with Sojin's voice. Papa, I can feel other children dying, on this world and others. The dragon wants to help them. How? By protecting them, by fighting for them, by showing the galaxy that humans are worth saving. The dragon's eyes glowed brighter. The coalition thinks love makes us weak, but the dragon knows better. Love is what makes us strong. His daughter was gone, but she was also more alive than ever. She had become something the universe had never seen before. A dragon with a human heart. A weapon that chose to love instead of destroy. A guardian that would protect the innocent because a little girl had taught it what family meant. What happens now? Daeho asked. Sojin's voice answered from the dragon's throat. Now, we wake up, Papa, and we show the galaxy what humans can really do. The dragon began to rise. The dragon stood for the first time in 50,000 years. Its massive body filled the chamber. Ancient systems hummed to life throughout its form. Lights flickered along its scales like stars being born. I remember how to fly, Sojin's voice said from the dragon's throat. But these memories aren't mine. They belong to the dragon. Dr. Kong Daeho watched his daughter become something incredible. The dragon's consciousness and Sojin's spirit were becoming one. They were learning from each other. What do you feel? He asked. Everything, Papa. I feel the children in the colony above us. I can sense their dreams, their fears. Some of them are sick like I was. The dragon's head turned toward the ceiling. I want to help them. How? The dragon has healing powers. Protected its people by keeping them healthy. I can do the same. Dr. Park Minho ran to his computers. The bio readings are incredible. The dragon's body is producing compounds we've never seen before. Medical compounds. Medicine, Daeho asked. Better than medicine? These are healing factors that work at the cellular level. The dragon moved carefully through the chamber. Its massive form seemed to float rather than walk. Papa, I need to go outside. The children need me. The coalition will see you, Daeho said. They'll think you're a weapon. I am a weapon, Sojin said through the dragon. Fight! Instead of hurt. The dragon taught me that real strength comes from protecting others. The dragon's voice became deeper, more ancient. For too long I have slept while innocents suffered. No more. Then Sojin's young voice returned. Papa, don't be afraid. I'm still your daughter. I'm just bigger now. The research team worked quickly to open the chamber ceiling. The dragon rose slowly through the opening. Its wings spread wide as it emerged into the night sky above New Sol Colony. People came out of their homes to watch. The dragon hovered above the colony, its scales glowing like a gentle aurora. Children pointed and laughed. Adults stood in wonder. Citizens of New Sol, the dragon spoke. Its voice carried across the colony. I am your guardian. I have awakened to protect you. A little boy with crimson fever was brought outside by his parents. The dragon descended and touched him gently. With one massive claw, golden light flowed from the dragon into the child. The fever broke instantly. More, Sojin's voice said. Bring me all the sick children. Through the night, the dragon healed every child in the colony, cured diseases that human medicine couldn't touch, mended broken bones, and restored sight to the blind. Parents cried with joy as their children became healthy again. But the dragon's awakening sent signals across space. Ancient systems came online. Other dragons, sleeping on other worlds, began to stir. Papa Sojin said as the dragon returned. To the research facility, I can feel them. Other dragons are waking up. How many? Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Ow. They've been sleeping on worlds across the galaxy. Minho showed Daeho the readings. The quantum signatures are spreading. Each dragon that wakes up sends a signal to others. What does that mean? It means the galaxy is about to change, Sojin said. The dragon network is coming back online, and I'm connected to all of them. The dragon's consciousness expanded. Through quantum links, it touched the minds of dragons on distant worlds. They had been guardians once, protecting civilizations that were now dust. But they remembered their purpose. The coalition destroyed many worlds, the dragon said with its ancient voice. They called it bringing order, but it was genocide. Dragons tried to stop them? Daeho asked. We tried, but our people told us to sleep. They said the galaxy needed time to heal. They promised to wake us when we were needed again, and now. Now we are needed, Sojin said. The coalition is about to attack human colonies? I can sense their ships moving through space. How can you know that? The Dragon Network sees everything. We are connected to the quantum fabric of space itself. The dragon showed them images in the air. Coalition warships gathering near human colonies, weapons being charged, invasion forces preparing to land. They're coming here too, Sojin said. They detected the dragon's awakening. They're afraid. How long do we have? 3 days? Maybe less. Minho looked at the data. One dragon can't fight an entire fleet. I won't be alone, Sojin said. Watch, the dragon sent a signal across the galaxy. On distant worlds, other dragons opened their eyes. They remembered their duty. They felt the call of their sister dragon and the human child who had awakened them all. On the mining world of Kepler 45 to B, a silver dragon rose from the mountains. It had been sleeping beneath the human colony there for 20 years. It spread its wings and roared its defiance at the coalition ships approaching. On the farming world of Proxima Centauri, a green dragon emerged from the ocean. It had watched human children play on the beaches. It had learned to love them through their laughter. Now it prepared to defend them. On the research station, orbiting Wolf 359, a white dragon unfolded itself from the asteroid where it had been hidden. It had listened to human scientists discuss the wonders of the universe. Now it would protect their curiosity from those who would silence it. The network is complete, Sojin said. All the dragons are awake, and they all carry a part of me. Now what do you mean? When I joined with this dragon, I became part of the network. Every dragon now knows what it means to be human. They know about love and family and sacrifice. The dragon's eyes blazed with golden light. They know about a little girl who chose to save others instead of herself. Aodeho felt his heart swell with pride and sadness. His daughter had become something greater than he ever imagined. She had awakened an ancient network of guardians and taught them to love. What happens when the coalition arrives? He asked. We show them something they've never seen before, Sojin said. We show them what happens when you threaten a dragon's family. The dragon's voice became both ancient and young at the same time. The coalition thinks emotions make humans weak. But they don't understand that love is the strongest force in the universe. Strong enough to defeat a fleet. Strong enough to change the galaxy. Above them, the stars began to shift. Coalition ships were approaching, but they were not the only. Ones moving through space. Dragon after dragon launched from worlds across the galaxy. They flew through the void, their biomechanical bodies adapted for space travel. They're beautiful, Minho said, watching the displays. They're family, Sojin said. The dragon taught me that family isn't just about blood. It's about choosing to protect each other. The dragon network communicated instantly across vast distances. Plans were made. Strategies developed. The dragons had fought the coalition before, but this time was different. This time they fought not just for duty, but for love. Papa Sojin said as the dragon prepared for battle. If something happens to me, remember that I'm not really gone. I'm part of the network now. I'm in every dragon that protects a human child. Nothing will happen to you, Deho said. Maybe. Not, but if it does, know that I'm happy. The dragon showed me that some things are worth dying for. What things? Love, Papa. Love is always worth dying for. The dragon turned toward the sky. Coalition ships were entering the system. The final battle was about to begin. But this time, humanity would not fight alone. The coalition fleet arrived like a storm of metal and fire. 50 massive warships surrounded New Sol Colony. Their weapons could turn the planet into dust in minutes. War Commander Valtar stood on the bridge of his flagship. He was tall and gray with 4 arms and eyes like black stones. His species had no word for love. They saw emotion as a disease that made civilizations weak. Scan the planet, he ordered. Find the weapon. Sir, we detect one large biomechanical entity. It appears to be some kind of ancient guardian construct. It's just one. Yes, sir. But it's giving off massive energy readings. Veltar studied the reports. The coalition had fought these dragons before, thousands of years ago. They were dangerous, but not unstoppable. One dragon could not defeat an entire fleet. Send a message to the humans, he said. Tell them to surrender the weapon, or we will destroy every human colony in the galaxy. On the planet below, Dr. Kongdeho received the message. His hands shook as he read it. The coalition wanted him to shut down the dragon. They wanted him to kill his daughter again. Papa, Sojin's voice said through the dragon. I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. They'll destroy every human world, Deho said. Millions of people will die. If you shut me down, millions more will die later. The coalition will never stop hunting us. The dragon's massive form knelt down so Deho could look into its eyes. I won't let you sacrifice yourself for me again. You're my daughter. It's my job to protect you. No, Papa. It's my job to protect everyone now. Dr. Park Min-ho ran into the chamber. Deho, we have a problem. The coalition is jamming our communications. We can't contact the other colonies. They're isolating us, Deho said. It's worse than that. They're preparing to attack the colonies. Anyway, even if we surrender, they plan to destroy the human worlds. The dragon's eyes blazed with anger. They lied. The coalition always lies, Minho said. I intercepted their military communications. They see humans as a threat that must be eliminated. Deho felt his heart break. There was no choice that would save everyone. Either his daughter died or humanity died. Either way, he would lose everything that mattered. There has to be another way, he said. There is, Sojin said, but you won't like it. What? Let me fight them, Papa. Let me show them what a dragon with a human heart can do. You're just one dragon against 50 ships. No, Papa, I'm not alone. Feel this. The dragon opened its consciousness to Deho. For a moment, he felt what Sojin felt. The network of dragons across the galaxy. Hundreds of them, all connected. All sharing Sojin's love and determination. They're all coming, Sojin said. Every dragon in the network is flying here. It will take days, Minho said. We don't have days, and I'll hold them off until help arrives. Veltar's voice came through the communication system. Humans, you have 1 hour to surrender the weapon. After that, we begin destroying your colonies. The dragon stood to its full height. Papa, I need you to do something for me. What? I need you to help me become fully connected to the network. Right now, I'm only linked to the other dragons. But the network was designed to connect with human minds too. What does that mean? It means I can share my consciousness with every human in the galaxy. When I fight, they'll all feel my courage. When I protect them, they'll know they're not alone. Minho looked at the readings. The neural load would be enormous, could destroy your mind. Or it could make me stronger than any weapon the coalition has ever faced. Deho understood what his daughter was asking. She wanted to become more than just a dragon. She wanted to become the living spirit of humanity itself. The risk is too great, he said. Papa, remember what you taught me about being brave. What? Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do what's right even when you're scared. Deho looked at his daughter, who was now a dragon the size of a city. She had already sacrificed her human body to save him from grief. Now she was offering to sacrifice her individual mind to save her entire species. I'm scared of losing you again, he said. You won't lose me. I'll be in every human who looks at the stars and dreams of something better. I'll be in every parent who protects their child. I'll be in every person who chooses love over fear. The dragon's voice became gentle. I'll be everywhere, Papa. Forever. Deho made his choice. Began connecting the dragon's consciousness to the human communication network. Across the galaxy, every human colony would be linked to Sojin's mind. Connection established, Minho said. All human worlds are now part of the network. The dragon's eyes closed for a moment. When they opened, they held the hopes and dreams of every human in the galaxy. I can feel them all, Sojin said. Every child who's ever looked up at the stars, every parent who's ever sung a lullaby, every person who's ever believed in something better. Are you still my daughter? I'm your daughter. And I'm their daughter too. The coalition fleet moved into attack position, or Commander Veltar prepared to fire on the planet. Sir, his weapons officer said. We're detecting massive energy buildups across the galaxy. The other dragon constructs are activating. How many? All of them, sir. Every dragon we've ever encountered. They're all coming here. Veltar felt something he had never experienced before. Fear. Not for himself, but for his fleet. The dragons were ancient and powerful. If they all attacked together, even the coalition, fleet might not survive. How long until they arrive? 12 hours, sir. Then we finish this now. All ships, prepare to fire on the planet. The dragon spread its wings and rose into the sky. It spoke with Sojin's voice, but the words carried the strength of every human in the galaxy. You want to fight us? Then come. But know that you're not fighting just one dragon. You're fighting the love of every parent, the hope of every child, the dreams of every person who believes in something greater than themselves. The dragon's scales began to glow with golden light. You think love makes us weak? Today, you'll learn how wrong you are. War Commander Veltar gave the order to fire. The battle for humanity's future began. The coalition fleet fired everything at once. 50 ships launched their most powerful weapons at the dragon. Energy beams that could melt mountains, missiles that could crack planets, bombs that could boil oceans. The dragon met the attack with its own power. Golden shields of energy appeared around it. The coalition weapons struck the shields and exploded in brilliant flashes, but the dragon was unharmed. Impossible, War Commander Veltar said. Nothing can withstand that much firepower. Sir, the dragon is generating energy from quantum sources we don't understand, his science officer reported. It's drawing power from the fabric of space itself. The dragon spoke with Sojin's voice. Is that all you have? My papa taught me. That bullies are always weaker than they pretend to be. War Commander Veltar felt anger rise in his chest. Fire again. All weapons. Maximum power. The second attack was even stronger than the first. The energy beams combined into one massive blast that lit up the entire solar system. The dragon disappeared in a ball of fire and light. Target destroyed, the weapons officer announced, but the light faded and the dragon was still there. Scales glowed brighter than before. It had absorbed the coalition's attack and turned it into strength. You're not very good at this, Sojin said through the dragon. Let me show you how it's done. The dragon opened its mouth and breathed golden fire. But this wasn't destruction. This was creation. The fire spread through space and touched every coalition ship. Instead of melting their hulls, it began to change their crews. Sir, a coalition officer said. I'm feeling something strange. What? I think it's called compassion. Across the fleet, coalition soldiers began to experience emotions they had never felt before. They remembered their own childhoods. They thought about their families. They wondered why they were fighting people who just wanted to protect their children. The dragon is using some kind of empathy weapon, the science officer said, making us feel human emotions. Block it, Veltar ordered. Can't, sir. The effect is quantum level. It's changing our brain chemistry. The dragon flew between the coalition ships, moved with impossible grace for something so large. Its wings created currents of golden energy that spread peace instead of destruction. Why do you hate us? Sojin asked through the dragon. We've never hurt you. You're different, Veltar said. Different is dangerous. Different is beautiful. The dragon taught me that. Every species in the galaxy has something special to offer. Emotion makes you weak. Emotion makes us strong. Watch. The dragon's consciousness reached out across the galaxy. On every human world, people felt their connection to Sojin. They felt her courage and her love. They felt her determination to protect them, and they responded. On the farming world of Proxima Centauri, humans and aliens worked together to build shelters that had been enemies before. But now they shared the dragon's gift of empathy. On the mining world of Kepler 4-5b, different species formed alliances. They helped each other survive and thrive. They protected each other's children as if they were their own. On the research station orbiting Wolf 359, scientists of all species worked together to find cures for diseases. They shared knowledge freely, driven by the dragon's love for all. Living things, you see? Sojin said. Love doesn't make us weak. It makes us unstoppable. The dragon network began to arrive. First 1, then 10, then hundreds of dragons appeared in the solar system. They came from every corner of the galaxy. Each one carried the memory of civilizations they had protected. Each one carried Sojin's love. They were all different. Some were massive, like Sojin's dragon. Others were small and quick. Some breathed fire. Others controlled ice or lightning or pure energy. But they all shared the same purpose. They were guardians. And they had come to protect humanity. All ships retreat, Veltar ordered. We're outnumbered, sir. We can't retreat. The dragons have surrounded us. The Dragon Network formed a sphere around the Coalition fleet. They didn't attack. They simply waited. What do you want? Veltar asked. We want you to understand, Sojin said. We want you to feel what love feels like. I don't want to feel anything, I know, but you need to. Because love is the only thing that can save you. Save me. From what? From being alone forever? The dragon's voice became sad. The Coalition has been alone for so long. You've forgotten what it feels like to care about someone other than yourself. We are strong because we are alone. No, you're dying because you're alone. The dragon showed Veltar images of Coalition worlds. They were cold and empty. The people lived in fear. They trusted no one. They loved no one. They were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy, but they were also the most miserable. This is what happens when you give up love, Sojin said. You become powerful, but you lose everything that makes life worth living. I don't understand, I know, but you can learn. The Dragon Network can teach you. Why would you help us? We came here to destroy you, because that's what family does. Everyone in the galaxy is family. The dragon's consciousness reached out to Veltar. For the first time in his life, he felt love. Not just any love, but the love of a father for his daughter. The love of a child for her parent. The love of a family that would do anything to protect each other. It was overwhelming. It was terrifying. It was beautiful. I don't want this, Veltar said. But tears were running down his face. Yes, you do. You've wanted it your whole life. You just didn't know what it was called. Other Coalition officers were crying too. They felt the connections they had been denied. They felt the joy they had been missing. Sir, the weapons officer said. I don't want to fight anymore. Neither do I, Veltar said. The Dragon Network began to sing. It was a song of welcome. A song of family. A song that said everyone deserved to be loved. But in the middle of the song, alarms began to sound. Something was wrong, Papa, Sujin's voice said. I can feel something bad coming. What? The Coalition has one more weapon. Something terrible. War Commander Veltar looked at his instruments. The High Council has activated the quantum virus. It's designed to destroy biomechanical systems. What will it do to the dragons? It will kill them all, including your daughter. The virus spread through space like a disease. It attacked the quantum connections that held the Dragon Network together. One by one, the dragons began to fall. Sojin Deho called out, Can you hear me? Yes, Papa, but not for much longer. Virus reached Sojin's dragon. Its scales began to fade. Its eyes grew dim. Its great guardian that had protected humanity was dying. I'm sorry, Papa. I couldn't save everyone. You saved what mattered most, Deho said. You saved love. That Dragon's war was ending. The real battle was just beginning. The quantum virus spread through the Dragon Network like poison. Ancient guardians that had protected the galaxy for millions of years began to die. Their biomechanical systems failed. Their consciousness faded, but they did not die quietly. Each dragon used its final moments to create one last gift. They poured their remaining energy into protective shields around every human colony. Every alien world that had shown kindness to humans. Every place where children played and families lived. Shields will hold for 1,000 years, Sojin said. Her voice was growing weaker, long enough for the galaxy to heal. Dr. Kang Deho watched his daughter's dragon body begin to fade. The scales that had glowed like stars were turning gray. The eyes that had burned with love were growing dim. I'm not ready to say goodbye again, he said. You don't have to, Papa. I'm not really leaving. What do you mean? The Dragon Network shared more than just power. It shared consciousness. Every being that felt our love now carries a piece of us. Around the galaxy, the Dragon Network's final gift began to manifest. Humans who had felt Sojin's love found themselves changed. They were braver, kinder, more willing to help others. Aliens who had experienced the dragon's empathy discovered they could no longer hate without reason. They began to question why they had fought for so long. They began to wonder if there was a better way. Even coalition soldiers, touched by the dragon's emotion weapon, found themselves unable to return to their old ways. They had felt love, and they could not forget it. Sir War Commander Veltar S., weapons officers said, "The virus is dissipating, but so are the dragons." "I know," Veltar said. He felt hollow inside. The brief taste of love had shown him what his life was missing. Now it was being taken away. "What are your orders, sir?" Veltar looked at the dying dragon that contained the human child's spirit. "Stand down. All ships, stand down, sir." Or not fighting anymore? The coalition fleet powered down their weapons. For the first time in their history, they chose peace over war. Sojin's dragon landed on the surface of New Sol Colony. Its massive body was failing, but it moved gently. It did not want to frighten the children who had come to watch. "Papa," Sojin's voice was barely a whisper now. "Come close." Daeho placed his hand on the dragon's snout. The scales were cold now, but he could still feel warmth underneath. "I want you to know something," she said. "These have been the best days of my life. Even though you're dying, I'm not dying, Papa. I'm becoming something else. Something bigger." "What?" "Hope." The dragon's eyes closed for the last time. But as its body faded, something amazing happened. Its consciousness didn't disappear. It spread. Every human in the galaxy felt it. A gentle presence that said they were loved. A voice that told them they were not alone. A spirit that promised them that tomorrow could be better than today. The dragon's body became light. Pure golden light that spread across the stars, touched every world, every ship, every heart that was open to love. "Do you feel that?" Dr. Parkman-Ho asked. "Yes," Daeho said. "She's everywhere." The light faded, but the feeling remained. Sojin was gone, but her love lived on. In every act of kindness, in every moment of courage, in every choice to help instead of hurt, Commander Veltar stood in his command center. Feeling emotions he had no words for, his communication officer approached him. "Sir, we're receiving messages from across the galaxy. Coalition worlds are reporting civil unrest. The people are demanding peace." "What kind of peace?" "They want to join the humans. They want to be part of whatever created that feeling of love." Veltar nodded. "Contact the human colonies. Tell them we want to negotiate." "Negotiate what, sir?" "A new way of living together." On New Sol Colony, Daeho walked through the streets. Children played in parks that had been battlefields hours before. Former enemies worked together to repair damaged buildings. The dragon's gift of empathy had changed everything. "Dr. Kong," a young woman called out. "Thank you for what? For giving us your daughter? For letting her save us all?" Daeho smiled sadly. "She saved herself. I just helped her find a way to do it." Years passed. The galaxy changed slowly but surely. Coalition became the alliance. War became cooperation. Fear became understanding. Human colonies became gathering places for all species. Children of different worlds played together. Scientists shared knowledge freely. Artists created beauty that inspired everyone. And sometimes, in quiet moments, people reported hearing something wonderful. A young girl's laughter carried on the wind. A gentle voice that said everything would be okay. A presence that reminded them that love was stronger than hate, so Jin's sacrifice had planted seeds of hope throughout the galaxy. Those seeds grew into something beautiful. Civilization based on love instead of fear. A future where different species protected each other instead of fighting. The dragon's body had become a monument on New Sol Colony. But its true memorial was the changed hearts of billions of beings across the stars. Daeho, now an old man, often sat by the monument. He would tell stories to the children who gathered there. Stories about a little girl who became a dragon. Stories about love that conquered death. Did the dragon really talk with her voice? A young boy asked. Yes, Daeho said. And if you listen very carefully, you can still hear her. The children listened. The wind whispered through the monument's crystal scales, and for just a moment they could hear it. A girl's voice, warm and loving, saying the words that had changed the galaxy. Love is stronger than fear. Hope is stronger than despair. Family is everyone who chooses to care. The dragon was gone, but its last breath had been Sojin's voice, and that voice would echo through eternity, reminding the galaxy that even in the darkest times, love would find a way. The story ended, but the love continued. Forever and always, just as a father had promised his daughter so long ago in the stars above. The Dragon Network's final gift continued to spread. Peace, understanding, the knowledge that everyone deserved to be loved and protected. So, Jin had kept her promise. She had become bigger than herself. She had become hope for the entire galaxy, and in the hearts of all who remembered her, she lived on.